Hello everyone! It's my first time ever attempting to stream to multiple places at the same time. So, let me just get this working. Hello! Success, I hope. I should be live on Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube at the same time, which is actually kind of a mental thing to be doing for me. But anyway, hello, how's it going? Today is a special day. I'm hosting the second student performance playthrough showcase awards ceremony. That isn't the name of it. I just couldn't put it into shorter words than that. Basically, a bunch of my students have been doing playthroughs of songs that they like. Some of them are Tesseract songs. Some of them are maybe their own compositions. I'm not actually sure yet. I haven't watched the videos. And I hosted one of these videos in December. I think it was just going to be an annual thing. But it went so well in December and I had so much fun. And the community all kind of rallied behind it. And they're like, oh, you should do that more than once a year. So I'm doing it more than once a year. This was going to be at the beginning of June, but I was busy doing things with Tesseract, so we pushed it to the beginning of July instead. Now, there's going to be loads of things that I cover in this. I'm going to play some drums for you guys as well. We're going to watch some performances. I've found some cool drummers that I'm going to show you guys, who you probably already know about them, but if you don't, you're going to find out about them here. I'm going to give away a DW9000 pedal, oh yes I am, to the performance that I enjoy the most from one of my students, and I'm going to give you some updates on my drum lesson website and all of the things going on there, some Tesseract updates as well. And if you want to get your questions in, there's a bit of a Q&A going on in this as well. I've set up a Discord channel on my drumming Discord, and you guys can head over there, ask any questions you want, and I'm going to every now and then drop in to see if any questions have actually gone in there. So the link to the Discord should be in the video description if I set all this up properly. If I didn't set it up properly, then go to I don't know where to go. I don't know where to tell you to go. I haven't set that up. I knew there'd be something that I didn't set up. But J Postone's Drum Lessons Discord. You want to be in there, and there's a channel called, let's see, what's it called? I did set this up earlier and it was working beautifully. Live stream questions. There we go. Live stream questions. What a dream. So go in there and ask whatever you want. I'm going to... there you go. There's a Discord there. That's my old Discord. I mean, if you go in there, they'll point you in the right direction. But yeah, Glass, if you could get people to go to the other Discord, that'd be awesome. Right. I'm going to kick things off with a little bit of Tesseract for you guys. I've gone as far as setting everything up so that I can hear a metronome and you guys can't. But, you know those videos that I put online of me playing along and you can hear the metronome? If you want to hear the metronome, I can turn it up so you guys can actually hear it. So you got to let me know what you prefer. Clicky clicky, beep boop boop boop, or none of that. Alright, 2 seconds, let's get this working. Let's start out with a gentle one, shall we?
10 seconds.
Are you getting that? You should be getting that. What are the audio levels like? Voice to drums to music? It should be fairly well balanced. I spent all morning doing this, so... There you go, a little jam for you guys. A little bit of tender. Let's get this back to the main camera. Look at that, magic. Everything still works. I used to stream all the time, and I haven't done it for a minute, and I had to make sure that everything still worked this morning. So from like 8 a.m. until right now, I've just been fixing things and setting up scenes and making sure it's all going to the right place. People on YouTube, hello. You were saying that the audio was a little bit off. So, or rather, let me get a bit more precise. The drum audio to music audio was a little bit strange. So, I can just boost that a little bit and take the drums down a smidge. Alright, I've pushed the music audio as loud as my interface will go. So I can't go any further, and I've brought the drums down so the balance is hopefully a little bit better. If it's a bit off on another song, just let me know and I can adjust it a bit. I can't actually hear that though. I can only hear what I can hear. What you've got is a mix that I thought I'd set up earlier on. Anyway, here we go. So I'm going to play some more music for you guys. I've got a bunch of songs lined up in Cubase here. If you've got any requests, just drop it in the chat, and if it's something that I've got lined up, then we can do that one next. So loads of things going on at the moment. In case you've been living under a rock or haven't been seeing the updates that I post on the internet because the algorithm doesn't want you to see it, I've made a pretty epic drum lesson website that we've been building for the past year or so, and it launched a little earlier this year. It launched ahead of schedule, which was amazing. And it's going incredibly well. It's insane. It's got to the point where we've got loads of students in there, loads of people checking it out. And it's the platform that I wish I'd had forever, but it takes you a lifetime to kind of realize these things, right? You kind of have to work through something that doesn't quite work to get to the thing that actually does work, and that's just life. But anyway, we've been working on this thing. There's myself and a team of people. It's got a really talented developer. We got just people behind the scenes that are doing a lot of the work that I'm not an expert in, right? And they're making it so much better than I could do by myself. And I'm going to share some really cool updates on it a little bit later. But the thing that I'm excited to share is and show you guys is what my students have been doing. So I have a couple of different levels on the website. There's a gold level and a silver level, and the silver level gets you access to a load of lessons that you can play through, and you can watch performances and all that kind of stuff. The gold level includes something that you may have heard me talk about before, which is the Progressive Drumming Masterclass, which is a epic drumming course that I made over the past few years, and I've been adding to it as I've been going along. And it's people that are subscribed at that level that submit these performances, and they get a chance to win fancy prizes. And the last time we did one of these, the prize was a DW Collector's snare drum, one of my snares. It's the exact snare that I used on War of Being, or the same kind of snare. It was actually my spare one, but it was the stainless steel 14 by 6.5, absolutely amazing snare. And that went to Leo, who was a fairly new drummer. He's only been drumming like 2 months, and he did the most insane thing. He was playing along to Lament by Tesseract, and he was like nailing it after 2 months, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, you can go and check the video out. It's somewhere on my Instagram. It's absolutely insane what this guy could do after a couple of months. I'm not saying that I was responsible for that because he did the work, but he was using my lessons as he was going through and developing that quickly. So that's pretty amazing. This year we've got 6 or 7 videos that I'm going to start watching in a second, and the prize, as I said a second ago, is a DW 9000 pedal, which is sat down here to my side, and one of the people that made a video is going to win that. So without further ado, because I can just talk for flipping days, let's get this over to the laptop screen. Let me get my laptop screen onto the actual video before I switch over. Let's load this up. Okay, first video coming in. This is loud. Let's turn this down a bit. I can turn the audio up if we need to. This is going to be insane. I have actually seen this one. So this is Mick, right? He's a drummer that I've been working with for about a year now. He signed up as one of my mentorship students a little over a year ago, and we've been working together on all kinds of different things to help him develop his drumming. And he decided that he wanted to try and tackle Bleed by Meshuggah because it's the ultimate workout for your feet. Basically, if you can play the Herter patterns in that song, it's one of the most amazing workout for like double kick consistency and leg control, and trying to play that pattern was the thing that enabled me to ultimately be able to play War of Being by Tesseract. So this is Mick having learned how to play the Hurters and smashing through Bleed. So let's go. Let's see what he's doing. This is insane. Oh my god. I'm going to carry on watching it in a minute, but I just need to say it's insane, isn't it? Seeing people play this flipping song. Mick, you've done an amazing job on this, mate. Let's crack on. Yes, mate. 30-second hydration break. Yes, I'm going to take a 30-second break as well. Okay. It's insane, this song, man. It's such a workout. The performance is amazing, Mick. I don't think Mick's watching because he messaged me earlier saying he couldn't make it, but I am recording this for him. Performance is absolutely amazing. You've absolutely nailed this. I remember you sending me a message saying that you were at like 70 or 80% speed with it, and then to get it that extra 20% to actually get it there is absolutely amazing. So huge congratulations to you for that, mate. Constructive feedback, not criticism. I don't like using that word. But recording wise, it would be nice to hear the kick drum pop a little bit more in this recording because it's such a feature of this track. And I know these recordings, I just say to my students, just throw up a phone and record as simply as you can. But I really want to hear that kick just being a bit more defined in this recording because it's such a killer song and it's such a killer performance. Anyway, let's get back to it. Let's have a look. I'm going to skip the 30-second break. There we go. He's doing it in his socks as well. Absolute sock drummer. Alright, here we go. Yes. Oh, amazing. Let's get back to here. How do I do this? Flipping right. That scream at the end was justified. Absolutely justified. Unbelievable. Yeah, mate. Mick, you absolutely nailed it. A scream. Oh, it's kind of perfect, wasn't it? That flipping song. I mean, Mick is now qualified to teach people how to play that. But if you're trying to get that down, it's a quick little lesson here to show you guys. Let's see if all these work. If you're trying to play that, if you're trying to do that, the place to start, I'm just realising I've got mud on my legs from my goats this morning. If you're trying to play that, you want to start out with a really efficient single movement for your heel toe or slide technique or something. So you want to get 2 kick drum hits out, a double stroke on your foot with 1 foot. And you don't want that to be taxing. You want that to be nice and easy. Then in between those, you're going to place the left. That's step 2. And when you can play that consistently, without it kind of doing anything like that, you then turn the your left leg into 8th notes, and then you've got bleed. That's I'm oversimplifying all of this, obviously, because it takes a while to get your leg to do that comfortably, but that's the basic thing. And it shouldn't be completely and utterly exhausting and knackering for your right leg. It's a stamina thing. That pattern in particular just takes building up. You have to build your body up to be able to play it. I didn't set all this up, by the way. The Stream Elements notifications on Twitch are all outdated and super old. If there's a Twitch mod in here that could update the Stream Elements stuff so it points just to jpostowns.com instead of all of the old links, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. I'm just seeing all these old links. I didn't think to change them this morning. So there's a quick little tip on how to play that song. I used to play it on Twitch, or try to play it on Twitch a while ago, and then Mick absolutely came in and destroyed it. Once again, well done, Mick. We've got a few more videos to get through for you guys. Where's my mouse? Here's my mouse. Let me change screens real quick. How do I get out? Oh, there we go. I'd hit full screen on this thing. I didn't know how to get out because I'm an idiot. Right. This next video, this is Alex Perry, another one of my students. They played a song, Calling Final Form. I don't know if Calling is the band or if the whole song is Calling Final Form. I've got no idea. But Calling Final Form, that's what it's called. It's the first time using a DAW, which is amazing. First time mixing drums. First time editing a video. So it's a massive first time. So this is Alex Perry, everyone. Let me just get this loaded up for you. And I know that this starts from about 50 seconds. Yeah, starts from about 50 seconds in. So we're going to go from there. All right, here we go.
Anybody out there give a message.
Nice one, Alex. So let's get this out. So the next one. There we go. Flipping right. Nice work, Alex. You know what? I really like the camera angle that you got going on there. I recorded a video the other week, one of those 360 videos, and they put the camera right there, and it was great. You can show it like everything you need to see on the kit. But yeah, nice work on that one, mate. It sounded for the first time using a DAW, first time using like all the editing stuff and everything. You did a great job. The snare could probably come up in the mix a little bit, and I'd be curious if you're recording with a metronome or without a metronome for something like that, because if you're not recording with a metronome, you definitely want to start doing that. And I can show you the lessons on the website that are going to point you at exactly how to do that if you're interested. Right, what else have we got? We've got another 4. I might play a song for you guys first, though. Shall I play a song? I kind of feel like drumming. I'm going to drum. Why not? Right. Let's see what songs we got. There's a bunch of Tesseract songs that I got lined up here. I've got my favourites. AZ. Alright, AZ, what are you saying? No snare. It says Jay Hamilton. The snare was kind of low in the mix for me, just personally. It just wasn't popping. But that could just be... it might just be the headphones I'm using, I don't know. I'll just say it could have gone up a little bit. We've got Natural Disaster, Echoes, Nocturne, Sacrifice, King, Legion, War of Being, Juno, Concealing Fate Part 1. What are we saying? Have you guys got a preference on any of those? I reckon there's going to be a huge delay between me asking that and the chat actually coming up with and asking and saying which ones they want. So, I'm just going to go with one. King, says Bjorn on bass. Okay, so the delay isn't too bad. Juno, says Rook. Hello, Rook. Rook, yeah, I don't think there's any Twitch mods in chat to change all this stuff. Apparently on Twitch I'm in the Black Myth Wukong thing, because that was the last time I streamed, which was a long time ago. Let's go with what should we do? Juno. There's 2 Junos. Alright, let's do Juno. I can't ignore the calls for Juno. I forgot that the end of that normally goes into a part 2 breakdown thing. I could have just done that, but I forgot. Anyway, Concealing Fate part... No, it wasn't Concealing Fate, that was Juno. What am I talking about? It was about to go into Concealing Fate. It's a bit of a workout, that. So, interesting thing. A little while ago, I was on tour in America, and in April and May, I think. A little bit of April, a little bit of May. And we're playing in Detroit, and I had, there was a doctor that came out, Dr. Nadia Azar, I think her name, from the Drummer Lab. It's a website, Instagram business that monitors and like the health metrics, heart rate and energy expenditure and that kind of stuff of drummers during a show, and it puts it on the internet. And it was really interesting. I saw this stuff quite a while ago. I think Matt Garska's been on there, Halpin's been on there, quite a few other drummers, and I thought, man, yeah, I'd love to do that just to be interested, just to see, right, what happens when I'm playing, like what is going on exercise wise. You know, I don't know anything, because it's not, believe it or not, it's not that tiring playing a Tesseract set. And when I tell people that, they're like, what do you mean it's not that tiring? I'm like, well, I have to get like mentally prepared more than I have to get physically prepared, because there's nothing that is that fast. I'm just kind of flowing with patterns that I know really well. And looking at the results that I got, it confirmed that theory, because my the fastest song, or the song where I had the fastest heart rate, was Nocturne, which makes sense because the whole thing is like just doing that constantly for like 5 minutes is tiring, versus pretty much anything else like Juno. Juno's much easier. Like, that's a lot easier to play. So I was looking at the results, and it peaked during More of Being, during the double kick section, and Nocturne overall was the one that had the highest heart rate. But my average heart rate was like 20 to 25 or maybe even 30 BPM less than some of my peers when they're playing. And I'm like, man, so it really isn't that tiring to do a Tesseract set. And the other thing that was interesting is that I get like a list, a PDF at the end with all these results and stuff. And it said that if I was to do 4-hour-long sets in a week, that I hit the kind of recommended exercise metrics for most people. As in, you're in that zone of moderate to intense exercise, or at least I think they calculate that based on a percentage of maximum heart rate, and whatever I was doing was kind of hitting that. And so if I did that 4 times a week, I'm hitting most of the metrics, which is pretty cool. So I don't feel too bad about not using my gym as often as I should. Anyone else got a home gym and hardly ever get in there? What's that about? You buy all the stuff and then you don't ever go in there. Anyway, that's probably just a me thing. I'm sure everyone else buys the equipment and uses it every single day. Let's watch another video, shall we? Zone 2, yes, of itself. Thank you very much. I think it's Zone 2. But yeah, go and look it up. I posted it on my Instagram a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago maybe. It says my name and then something about Drummer Lab. You can go see the videos and check out the results. It's interesting stuff. I like that stuff. We're going to watch another video now. This is the wrong mouse. This is the right mouse. Who's next? Let me see on my list of things before I get it wrong. We have Adam Schneider, who's played a Rush song. Adam plays a Roland kit most of the time. So, and this is on an acoustic kit. So this is like a fairly new transition for him. Let me get the video up. Let's close down these other ones. Okay. Full screen this. Let's go. This is Adam, everyone. Yeah. Sick. Nice work, Adam. Yeah, man. I've just got to compliment the whole production thing that you got going on there. The sound was brilliant. You did a really good job mixing that. I don't know that song. I don't know many Rush songs, would you believe? Everyone's like, oh my God, what do you think of Rush? I'm like, I don't know any of their music. But yeah, dude, you did a really great job of that. Really cool. Really, really cool job. The thing I'm most jealous of, this is going to sound insane, the angle that you can get for your kick drum cam. I can't get that angle no matter how hard I try. Where you get a good shot of both feet on the pedals. Just can't do it. I've tried so many times and I just end up with this one, which is fine, but you can't see the left foot really because it gets obscured by all of this stupid stuff. And I just need to try more, don't I? I just need to try harder. Tell you how I'm going to try harder though. I don't think people really know this yet because I haven't mentioned it anywhere. I'm building an acoustic drum studio finally at my house. It's going to be in the backyard about 50 feet behind me, and I was thinking about it. I've been thinking about it for years, literally been thinking about it for years, and I haven't done anything about it because it's one of those things that it's such a rabbit hole. There's so much work to do with a project like that. It's not just a case of buy a shed, put drums in it. It's like get permits. There's like a million different permits, and it's so convoluted. If you go online and try and search what you actually need, oh my days, there's so many things. Then you have to build a base for it. So the bed for it, I have to build all of that. That's a whole thing. I have to get power to it. I have to get AC to it. I have to get an HVAC unit. Both of those things need a separate line. It needs to be in a trench. I need to get the internet to it. I need to think about drainage. I need to buy the thing. I need to soundproof the thing. There's a lot of work, but I've done a lot of work the last sort of 3 days. I went to see a bunch of sheds the other day. I have to get something built on site because they can't build something big enough to bring it here and fit it through any of the space that we've got. Luna, am I contracting the work or DIY? So here's where I'm up to. I'll share photos of everything so far in Discord later on if you like. So I'm building a custom built shed thing. I'm not building that. It's going to be delivered and people are going to put it up. I'm going to get someone to come round to do the bed, the gravel bed that it goes on. I've got an electrician coming round on Monday to price up to get the power from the side of the house up to it and also the power for the HVAC. Then I'm going to do a bunch of the soundproofing because I've done that a load of times. I built studios in the UK and I've done home studios a bunch of times. So I can do the soundproofing myself, or sound isolating. I suppose it's very difficult to actually soundproof. And yeah, timeline. If I can get it done this year, that would be a huge achievement. When I put it all into, I was using ChatGPT to help me plan all this because why wouldn't you do that these days? And it was like timeline, like 8 to 12 weeks for something like this. I'm like, okay, 8 to 12 weeks. Yeah, right. That seems ambitious, but we'll see. That'll be a massive DIY. Yeah. The outside of it, I could do it all myself. Like I've built so many things in my days. I've literally built studios. I've done all of the framing and all that kind of stuff. I just don't particularly want to, if I'm honest. I want the outside to be really flipping nice and lovely. And if I do it myself, it's one of those things. Me and my wife say this because we do a lot of work ourselves around the house. That's DIY. And we could release a book that's like that's called A Bit Shit Up Close. That would be the name of the book. Because if you take a photo of it and you're a bit way back from it, it looks great. Then you get up close, you're like, oh yeah, you did that yourself, didn't you? You didn't pay an expert for it. So I'm gonna get the outside done by someone, by a company, and I'm gonna do the inside myself because that's what I've done before. So anyway, am I gonna document the studio build? Hell yeah, I'm gonna document the studio build. It's gonna be so exciting. There's a lot that goes into doing something like this, not just money. But what I will say is that all of you guys that are subscribed to the website, you've basically enabled me to even think about doing this because until this point, I haven't been able to, frankly, afford to do something like this. So all you guys that are heading over to the website, jposounds.com, you're grabbing yourself a silver membership or a gold membership. Thank you so much because you're making a repayment on something like this achievable for the first time in my life. So you guys, literally. Go to Discord and I'll stick some photos in there later. It's going to be so exciting. So that was Adam Schneider. Thank you very much, Adam. You crushed it with that Rush song, mate. We've got another video coming up. This is Caleb Carpenter. This is a Coheed track, Coheed in Cambria, and it was recorded using the Yamaha EAD10, and everything was captured on a phone. And if that isn't the flipping dream, I don't know what is. Like, just being able to set up one camera and have something mixed, and it sounds great. So let's see if it worked. Let's go and have a look. Let me just get over to this video. Here we go. This is on my Dropbox because it wasn't on YouTube. So how do I... Oh, no, I don't want to sign into Dropbox. I just want to download it. There we go. This might take a second to download. Oh, damn it. 1 minute. Let me do this another way. Where did I put this? I've got to go to my Dropbox. I knew there'd be tech issues. Tell you what, you guys look at this while I find the thing. Look at this. Okay, I think I got it. I did get it. Let's go. Super solid. Oh. It stopped. Why did it stop? Oh, I think that is literally the end of the video. Okay. 1 sec. Well, I mean, that was amazing until it just went... Bloop. Nope, that's all you get. No more. No thanks. He was slaying too hard. I agree. Oh man, that was brilliant though. That was Caleb. I know that song. It's one of the rare songs that I actually know in the world. Brilliant that was. You can tell. I reckon Caleb drums maybe for a living, maybe teaches, maybe does lots of live stuff. Cause he's like locked in, super locked in. That sounded super nice. And the drums were like verbatim what was on the track from at least my memory of it. So yeah, sounded flipping amazing, mate. Well done. And that kit, I want to know if I'm right or wrong. That looks like a Tamastar Classic Birch Babinga, or maybe Babinga. I used to have one that looked exactly like that back in the day, with the black to the brown wood fade. Super nice. Right, there's another couple of songs. I feel like I should drum as well. I feel like I've been sat on my bum too long without drumming, and I get itchy if I don't. So let's play some more drumming. We got should we do Wob? Let's do Warrabean. That's like the good one. Flipping Warrabean. You guys want some Warrabean? Even if you say no, I'm gonna do it. Everyone's saying yes. Wob. Wob, wob, wob. Let's go. That's Juno. That's not Wob. Let's get back to Wob. That's Wob.
Neck.
Legs.
Oil.
If you guys are wondering what the random words are in the background, this is what I hear on stage. So it's got some guitar cues in there. It's just random words that helps the guitarists. Yeah, that part's silly. It's just silly. That's the kind of thing that you have to program into a computer first before trying to learn. At least I have to do that because it's just too difficult. You end up learning the previous groove, the transition into the next groove, and then how to start the next groove. And then I learn that next groove a bit at a time. I'll teach that whole process on my website because it's difficult. It's not obvious either. Want drum lessons with Jay? Start here, says Stream Elements. jposttones.com. Go and check it out. If you want to try it for a month, you can get a free account. If you want to try it for a month, use the code READY2LEARN, READY, the number 2, learn, on a silver membership, and it'll unlock it for a month for you. There we go. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm not on my screen. I can't stop the metronome. There we go. I stopped it. Brilliant. Warbean, ladies and gentlemen. That is a flipping song. Vikram, Viklal, what you say, mate? He says the website is awesome. You need to stick with it, and for sure you'll see results over time. Thank you very much, Vic. Vic's one of our silver students. Has been around for quite a while, at least since the beginning of the website. Yeah, man. If I appreciate the comment. Thank you so much. And you're active in Discord as well, which I really love. You keep posting when a lesson is like, oh my god, that helped me so much. So I appreciate it, mate. Thank you. What's up, King? What's up, mate? When are you guys coming to Greece again? I've got no idea. I have no idea. Probably with new music soon, which is something that I can tell you about. So there is a little bit of Tesseract stuff that's going on behind the scenes. We are wrapping up the War of Being campaign after, wow, like a while. And we're now thinking about what comes next. New music. We've got a new team behind the band, which is super exciting. For the first time in more than a decade, we've got a new management team. And it's breathed a new wave of energy into the band. It's like a new lease of life. It's everyone's feeling great. The first show that we played with the new management team was this epic show at Resurrection Fest last weekend. So a week ago on Friday, I was on stage in Spain playing a huge show, 20,000 people. Sun was out. We had a huge production, massive video screen. Like it just felt like the next level. And we're kind of optimizing that show now for the festivals that we're playing. So, and without the pineapple, oh yeah, okay. I'm not going to talk about all of that. Basically, the headliner on the day that we were on was a complete and utter idiot, and he launched a pineapple at Amos. Anyway, you don't need to know about that. The guy doesn't deserve time. In fact, he served time. He probably deserves more of that. Anyway, I'm going to shut up before I get in trouble. So, Tesseract, we're going back into the studio in September, and we've got some music that's new that I'm listening to in my car, and it sounds great. It sounds great. I know I'm the harshest critic and the harshest filter of Tesseract's music, right? If I'm like, if it doesn't get me excited, then I push back super hard on it. And I think the other guys would say the same. I'm just like, everyone else might kind of pussyfoot around the thing and be like, well, let's go. I'll be like, mate, no, that's rubbish. I was like that with Echoes, if I'm honest. You know, you might have seen a stream when we released War of Being and how I was likening Echoes to simpler music, let's say that. I like our music to kind of have some complexity and depth to it, and I thought Echoes was a little bit basic. But I actually really enjoy playing it now, so I'm going to like backtrack a little bit on what I said back then. But the new stuff, oh my days. Oh my actual days. I've got it on a playlist. There's 4 bits of songs that can kind of stitch together into this epic little, like 10 minutes of music. It's great. It's flipping great. So I've got a bit of work to do to try and learn that stuff well enough to be able to somehow play it by September. And then we're going... What was that? Jolly Spider? What was the one about 3 Blind Mice? I mean, that was Echoes. Just do, do, do. It was just like the simplest riff. But I don't know. People seem to like it. So what do I know? I'm weird. I like weird things. What can I say? Yeah, I've got to be a bit weird to be a drummer for a living, right? I'm going to hit these things, and I'm going to hit them in really weird combinations of time, and I'm going to try and make a living out of it. What's that about? Who ever did that before? It's like... It's not an advisable career path, ladies and gentlemen. It's something that you have to be very careful to craft your niche and then try and get really good at teaching that niche, because the band might not get big enough to pay the bills. I'm just going to say that. But anyway. But there you go, Jolly Spider. It's a bit simple for Tess. It is a bit simple for Tess, I agree. But people like it, so anyway. Tesseract new music coming to your ears soon. I don't know if we're going to do an album. I think we might end up doing a shorter chunk of music and then release that a little as an album, as a collection later down the line. But so that you guys aren't waiting 5 years for another War of Being, I think we're probably going to do like chunks of music and make it like, this is what we wrote this year and we're going to release it. This is what we wrote this year and we're going to release it. And I think we're going to form our own label to do it, because labels for bands at our level can't really do that much for you that you can't do yourself, or at least that you can't hire out. So I think we're going to do that, and then we can look at maybe bands that we are excited about and see if they want to come and work with us. So anyway, lots of things going on in Tesseract World, lots of things. I'm excited for the next phase of it. There's lots of shows that we're doing across Europe this summer. Maybe I'll see some of you guys out at that. I can't remember them all, but we're doing Arctangent Festival. I don't know what we've been announced for. I'm pretty sure we're announced for everything at this point. But go to the Tesseract website and you'll be able to see all the dates. And if you can make it to some of those, that'd be awesome. The other thing I need to say is I got drumsticks. I didn't have these last time. I've got my signature drumsticks finally. I've been working on these for flipping ages with Meinl, and we finally released them. They're based on the standard long 5A. You can get them if you just type in J-Postone's Meinl drumsticks on the internet. It'll link you to a shop where you can buy them because they're available publicly. You don't have to come to me and ask me for my drumsticks anymore. You can go to, I think they're on Sweetwater and Tom Ann and places like that. You can go and get a pair. And if you do, that's awesome, because you've got a little bit of something I've designed in your hands and you're playing drums with them. If you're a 5A player, they're literally perfect. I really think they're perfect. There's a little bit more weight up this end. I've got a rounded tip because I can ghost note better with rounded tips. And I flipping love them. Absolutely love them. What about Drum Honey? I've got Drum Honey on my acoustic drums, not on the electric drums. That make absolutely no sense. So, there's a little bit going on there. There's more that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. Before that, though, let's get back to the student performances. We got Dalton Dodge, who I've worked with Dalton for about a year as well, because similar to Mick. Dalton joined my mentorship program quite a while ago, and awesome guy. Awesome drummer. I've met him a couple of times on Tesseract tours. He's come out to like VIPs and things like that. He came out to, I think it was San Francisco. I hosted a little drum clinic in Tesseract's trailer about a year ago, and he came out to that. I met him for the first time. But yeah, awesome guy, awesome drummer, and he's playing a Tesseract song that Tesseract haven't even played live yet in this video. So this is Burden by Dalton Dodge. Flipping heck. Nice. 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 Yeah, man. There you go. Flipping right. Flipping heck. There he goes. Dalton with the flipping tune. So, 1 minute, let me get off this screen. That was amazing. Yeah, I'm kind of like lost for words. We don't play that song live because it's we can't play it yet. I saw someone ask why we don't play that song yet. There are more difficult songs you would think on the record. That one is more of a jam, but it was one of the last ones we recorded in the studio because we just couldn't get it right. There's so many parts of it that were just kind of moments in time that would be very difficult to recreate. And the verses in that, for example, they were kind of the same drum beat in the demo, and then when we were in the studio, we wanted to mix it up, so I just played a bunch of different things, and then we smushed them together and made the parts. And the third verse, and maybe the second verse, we actually recorded after a lot of red wine. I haven't drank in ages. I'm not drinking at the moment, but we drank quite a lot in the studio, and we recorded it after a lot of red wine. And the next morning, we're like, "Oh, let's try and retrack that then," because we think we got it last night. And the producer's like, "No, you got it last night. Don't retrack that." So the version on the record is us kind of drunk jamming in the studio. Which, I mean, how do you recreate that without being drunk on stage? I'm not getting drunk on stage. I can't do that. So, yeah, man. Dalton's in chat, flipping amazing. You did an amazing job on that one, mate. It's such a difficult song to try and navigate, and I can tell that you were going for. You weren't just trying to do a version of it. You were trying to do the version of it. Do you know what I mean? Like the fills and the precision. You'd got some of that precision in there, where you're going over to a specific china or a specific cymbal accent at the time when it's supposed to happen, rather than just kind of playing anything, right? Which would be the default for a lot of people trying to do something like that, which tells me how much time you've put into it. That's the thing, right? And that's the measure of like, are you going to get better at the drums? Literally, that's the measure of it. How much time are you going to put in to at this thing, at this skill that you want to improve? And for me, the precision in those moments when you're able to navigate something with the math that is correct, the pattern is correct, it doesn't like slip out, or the accent is in that moment, and you want to get it in that moment, not just somewhere vaguely in that moment. That means you practiced. So yeah, man, did an amazing job with that one. Well done. And I'm glad that you made it into the stream as well. We have another one. Let me just get it up on my phone. Anthony Zakari, who is also in chat and is also a streamer, AZ Drums. I remember first bumping into Anthony on Twitch years ago. We used to raid each other. And a little while after we met, he joined my masterclass on the website, and he's recorded a song. Said he didn't have much time to do this, but wanted to submit something, and had a blast through Legion by Tess, which is not a song to tackle if you don't have much time. That's a very difficult one to try and tackle. So let's see what you've done with this one. If you're in chat, Anthony, and you want to give any kind of commentary, you're very welcome to, mate. You're welcome to say whatever you like. Let's get this loaded. Here we go. Nice. That kick drum is slapping, mate. Oh man, flipping heck. Oh man, flipping heck. This. Yeah, man. Yes, Anthony. Dude, you did a beautiful job. I'm sorry to hear that the bad news from your community this week, man. That's flipping awful. But dude, you did an amazing job. That's one of the hardest Tesseract songs. The second half of that is such a difficult thing to navigate. It takes a lot of... Dude, you did try, man. You did flipping try. You tried amazingly. It's such a tricky thing, and that was one of those things. If you had, I reckon, a week, another week, something like that, because you only started, you had a week with that, right? And I can tell the part of that you spent the time on, correct me if I'm wrong, the part of that was like, wow, I'm gonna get that right, was the ride. That like really difficult ride section there. All of that stuff. That's the bit I was like expecting, like, oh man, this, if that bit flipping comes up, there's no way anyone's getting that, and then you flipping got it. So yes, that took like 3 days, that's what I'm saying. But when you get to the point of being able to do something like that, it took 3 days. You could spend 3 days going, oh god, I'm not going to be able to do that. Or you could just work on it and get it down, and that's what you did. So I reckon give yourself another week, maybe 2 weeks, just with the bits that aren't there in your mind yet. If you wanted to take this to a point of like learning it any further, and you'd have the subtleties of those parts down, and that's all it is. It's just about subtleties. Like I can tell, you know, the song, and you were navigating it with in the ways that you know, right? But the mathematic stuff wasn't completely in there yet, but you did an amazing job with it, mate. After such a small amount of time, you did such a great job, and it sounded amazing, looked amazing. Your space always looks great, and the kick was slapping, the snare drum was sounding super nice. You'll have to tell me what you do to your snare to get that roomy sound in a small room, because it's a fairly small room that you're in, right? But you still get it to sound like it's in a bigger room, which is cool. So, dude, thank you so much. So those are the submissions. Those are the what my students, a couple of my students have been up to. There's another couple of videos I'm going to play you guys in a minute that are not my students, but I want to show you those because they're really sick. And I've got the difficult job of choosing who wins the pedal. So we have a DW9000 pedal here. It's one of my spares. It lives in the cupboard next door and comes out with me on tour. And I thought, rather than it just gathering dust in that cupboard, it would be better to go to a drummer who will actually use it. And I wanted to choose the drummer that would use it by doing one of these competitions, because it gives people something to work towards, especially if you're not in a band and you're not doing all of that stuff. Having a goal, having something specific that you're working on, ends up becoming the arrow, the direction that you got to work on. And I find that with new Tesseract stuff, that becomes like the sole focus that I have, and I get so much better as a player when I've got that focus, that laser-like focus on a thing. So that's what I'm trying to give to people with these competitions. So if you want to take part in this, head over to jpostones.com. Grab yourself a gold membership. At the moment, it's just the gold students that are open to it. I might do something with silver students for the next round of things. I've got to figure all of that out because it's all still coming together, if I'm honest. But we've done this is the second time we've done this with gold level students. And in my mind, there's two performances that are standing out that... all of them are amazing. Everyone did an amazing job. There are two that are standing out, and it's going to be a difficult thing to choose between the two. Glass just registered, flipping right. The two that I want to mention that have kind of peaked in my mind, we got Mick at the beginning, who played Bleed, which is ridiculous. Might not need a double kick pedal, if I'm honest. If you're playing Bleed on that pedal, mate, you probably don't need this double kick pedal. I need to find out what Mick's already got. He's like, I've already got a DW9000, mate. It's fine. About to give him another one. And the other person who I thought did an amazing job was Dalton. who messed around with Burden, Tesseract song, and I'm finding it tricky to choose between the two, because both of them, there's special things about both. I mean, special things about all the performances. I'm not trying to knock anyone's performance down here. It's just, this is purely vibes, right? I'm just going with vibes. I think what Mick managed to achieve with his footwork in such a short amount of time, it just shows like dedication. Turning up to practice, doing the thing, and switching off from distractions gets you the thing, gets you the result. And such a brilliant example of that. And Dalton putting in so much time and effort and working that hard on the track to get so much of the specificity in there. I'm going to choose in a minute after I've shown you another video. See what I did there? That is some flipping TV level teasing. That is some literal TV level teasing. I want to show you something before I ultimately choose who's going to win the pedal. I didn't anticipate doing that, but it was too much fun not to do it. So, have I just lost all my notes? No, I haven't. I opened up a new note. Right. There's two things. This is going to be a new section that I want to do, which is the Discovery channel. I was going to have a graphic that came up and did the whole thing, but I didn't have time to make it. So there's a couple of drummers that I've discovered that I want to tell you guys about. I'm sure you may have already heard of these people, you may not, but either way, they've entered my radar. It's rare that drummers enter my radar these days, just because most of what you see online seems edited, and it seems... I'm just not that bothered in watching a bunch of edited drum videos. It doesn't excite me. I want to see a drummer on an iPhone absolutely like going ham on a kit. That's interesting to me. So the first one, there's a kid. I think his dad's been messaging me, and his name is from India. He's 10-year-old kid. I'm going to get the name wrong. I'm sorry. Sandhya Das. Sanid, I can't pronounce it. Sanidhya Das. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I butchered that. And they sent me a video of him playing Nocturne. And there's like new videos every week. Absolutely just shredding it up. And I don't think it's edited. I think maybe it's quantized a bit. I'm not sure. But there's times where it's like, okay, yeah, that's not completely on the grid. So I think it might actually be this kid performing. And either way, it's absolutely amazing because the fluidity of this kid playing is great. And they sent this video through anyway. Let me just get it up on my computer. He's 10 years old, and he's in India. And he did this. Absolutely shredding. Yeah, man. Flipping amazing. There's obviously more to this, but absolutely shredding it. Like, how good is that? How flipping good is that? You should go and check it out online. It's let me get the name. I'm gonna have to say it out loud. SANIDHYA space Das. Sanidya Das on YouTube, and yeah, man, that's so good. So what I want to do clearly doesn't need lessons, but I'm going to send, if you're watching, I don't know if they're watching this, probably not watching this, but I'm going to make sure that you guys get hooked up with a free membership on the website so that you can check out the masterclass and all of that stuff, because if I can do anything to just help inspiring that next generation of drummers that are already playing stuff at that level, just here, take my secrets, just have them. So I'm going to be in touch with you or your dad or whoever it is that's posting the lessons online. I'll send you a message and you'll have access to my my website at a gold level, so you can check out all of the stuff that's on there and see if that helps you out. There you go. That's something that I want to try and do. J Postone's Apprenticeship. There we go. That's what I'm going to call it. The Apprenticeship. Right. Next, there's another video that I want to show you guys. This is a drummer that I've found online that I was going to message and say, man, are you hooked up with like Meinl and stuff? Because you should be. And then the next day, there was a Meinl video. So yes, they're hooked up with Meinl. I think, let me get his name, Zach Dubé, right? I think that's how you say it. Oh my days. This flipping guy, you got to watch this. This is properly mental. Yeah, man. Leave some drums for everyone else, man. Leave them. Unbelievable. That guy, absolutely incredible. That's flipping amazing. Yeah, I saw that. I saw a clip of it on YouTube or Instagram, and I was like, it's great. But there's levels of drummer, right? In my mind, there's people who've tapped into a level beyond what most people ever achieve, and he's one of those rare people. Literally, he's one of those people there's something that he's hearing. There's some neurospiciness going on, definitely, because that's how I describe myself sometimes. I can't do that stuff, but I've got my own type of neurospicy that enables me to kind of hear numbers and not really think about it too much. That guy's got a lot of that going on, and it's so put together so well. Flipping flowing around the kit. Nothing sounded wrong. Yeah, man. Love that stuff. So, I think the first video I ever saw him playing, he was wearing a Tesseract t-shirt. And I was like, oh, look at this guy in a Tesseract t-shirt. And then I stayed around for the video, and I'm like, oh, shit, look at this guy playing drums. And then the top comment on the video was from Don Cheadle. Like, what is going on here? Absolutely amazing. But that dude, like, new favourite drummer that I found online. I don't watch many drum videos online, but that dude keeps coming up, and every time he does, I'll watch the videos. So, yeah, Zach, if you happen to see this, you're flipping doing really good things on that instrument, mate. It sounds bloody beautiful. If you want to come out to a Tesseract show and drink sparkling water with me, I'd love to have a chat sometime, because you've tapped into something that is rare, and that is beautiful. Right. If you guys have got any drummers that I should check out, stick it in Discord, because I'm not in a way that I can click on these videos, and doing that now is risky. But send me some things in Discord. We can check them out for the next one of these. Maybe I'll find another drummer that I'm interested in watching on the internet. Right? I've got to choose a drummer that I'm excited to share a pedal with, and I mentioned two guys a moment ago that did the performances that you guys watched earlier. I can't talk for some reason. My tongue is getting in the way of my face. And like I said, Mick and Dalton both did an amazing job. I think the pedal is going to go to Dalton. And the reason for that is I can see the amount of effort that's gone into that. I'm not saying Mick didn't do that. Mick did put a huge amount of effort in, but Mick's already got a double pedal that he can do amazing things with. He's already got it. He's got the thing. Dalton absolutely just did something cool that I wasn't expecting anyone to cover Burden, and it just made me happy watching it. So everyone, in fact, made me happy watching their performances. So thank you so much for submitting these. Dalton, congratulations. Mick, congratulations. If anyone wants to participate in this next time, get your ass over to jpostones.com. Get yourself registered and get involved. You just have to upload a video of you, or say in the chat, this is the song I'm going to do. And then in 6 months' time, when we do another one of these, you upload a video of you performing it. You have 6 months to learn this thing. So really you want to choose something that's currently above what you can play, right? You choose something that you can't currently do, and the idea is you work towards it. And the community of drummers that we're building around the website, everyone chimes in, and they have nice supportive things to say. And it'd be great to see more people in there having a go on this, because it's great. It's a lot of fun. I like hosting these things. It's a good time for me to chat with familiar faces, or at least familiar names that I know from the internet, and to do something, hopefully give something back as well. So, what have I done? Let me make sure I've actually checked off all of the things that I wanted to check off for this stream. So we got all of the performances. I watched all of those. They were bloody brilliant. We've given away the pedal. I've shown you the drummers that are amazing. Tesseract are back in the studio. I'm building a home drum studio, which is very exciting. I'm going to be featuring at a few drum shows this summer across Europe. I can't give any details on those yet because I don't think it's announced yet. But it's more than just one, and it's less than 100. So that doesn't give anything away. But I will be on the other side of the pond hitting drums in front of people, not at a Tesseract show, and that's going to be exciting. Website news. I'll give you a little bit of update on the website because there's so much going on all the time. We are working on new lesson formats. So the lessons at the moment, I've been uploading the performance, play along, so that you guys can play along in your browser, slow it down, you got the notation there, and you can loop sections and all that kind of stuff. And recently, for the last few lessons, I've been uploading a guide as well, like a lesson where I'm sat behind the kit, I'm explaining what's going on, I'm showing you the steps to build up to play the actual thing. And I'm going back retrospectively, if there's not the right word, and making those lessons for everything that's published, as well as the stuff that's coming out into the future. So there's quite a bit of work for me to do there. But the feedback that I got from doing the first couple of those was, oh my God, this is amazing. So I'm going to keep doing those. I quite like doing the editing for those, and it's fun. If any of you guys happen to be video editors and might want to get involved in doing this, hit me up, because I'm getting to a point where that's the actual bottleneck. I can make all of the content, but the bottleneck is me editing it. So if anyone here is a video editor and wants to have a little chat, wants to have a go, then let's have a chat. We're working on, this is what I'm most excited about. So I told you at the start of the stream, this whole website's completely custom coded. It's not something that's out of the box. We've built it from the ground up exactly how we want it, which means when we have an idea, we can build it rather than being reliant on a system that's kind of within a box that's a little bit restricted. So the idea that we've got, that we've had since the beginning of this, that I thought would be a phase 2 thing, is when people land on the website, new drummers like yourselves, you get to enter a journey. You get to get asked a couple of questions. You know, what level do you perceive yourself to be at? Are you an absolute beginner? Are you somewhere in the middle? Or are you a pro? Are you playing live and you like feel good, but you just want to get some new ideas? And if you answer that question, it'll then ask you, what things do you think you want to learn, right? So you might say double kick, just hand control, odd timing. You can get more specific with odd timing, and you can say polyrhythms or metric modulation or displacement or whatever it is. There's all these things, all these tags that we're using on the website to categorize the lessons. And based on the level that you perceive yourself to be at and the tags that you've put, we can recommend a path for you. We can recommend lessons. And then when you're in a lesson, you can add this to a practice list, or you can say either not interested or I can't do this yet. At that point, it diverts the path and it will give you other lessons that are similar, that are maybe a little easier. So it'll give you one or two that are the difficulty below but still have some of those same tags, and it'll give you an adjacent lesson that's got some of those tags that might be a little easier. There's just something about this one that you can't do. And what we're trying to do here is craft a customized practice route for people, because the thing that I think holds a lot of people back is not having guidance, not having a path, not having structure to their practice, and just kind of blindly turning up and trying to get better at the drums without that thing, without actually having a path defined. So we're trying to create customized paths for everyone. And obviously I can't do that myself for everyone, because that's another bottleneck. If I'm writing everyone's practice routines, I'm not doing anything else. I'm not making lessons, but we can make a tool that will do that based on the material that I've got. And it won't cost you as much as if you're working directly with me. So that's what we're working on at the moment. And that will be rolling out fairly soon. There's another thing that I'm working on, which I'm really excited about, which is I recorded 30 or so, maybe 35 bite-sized lessons in a delicious studio last year, and I'm editing those at the moment, and they're going to be up on the site soon. So we're going to have some lessons that are not on this kit. They're going to be on my nice, fancy, real acoustic kit, not electric kit, acoustic kit. We're editing those at the moment, and they're going to be up soon. And it's going to be a whole course with those things in. So there's lots of things coming. And if you've got any suggestions, if you're on the website, if you're using it, if you've got any suggestions for things you'd like to see on there, including tools, frankly, if there's a tool that you're like, man, if I had that, that'd be awesome, let me know. Because if it's good and I put it to the community and people are interested in that, we can make it. That's what can happen. So we're super responsive. We're excited to see what you guys are enjoying on the site. If there's anything you're not enjoying on the site, I want to know that as well. And yeah, man, I'm just... finally feel like I'm in a good place with the drum lesson site. I can see the next stages, but that's always true, right? I think if you're working on a project that you're excited about that's got some potential, you are always aware of what the next stage is, and then what the next stage is, and what the next stage is. Miguel, how about a Sacrifice playthrough lesson? Yeah, I mean, that's coming. I could play Sacrifice right now, which is actually what I was about to do before you said that. Sacrifice is on the website as a playthrough. I haven't got it synced to notation, but I can do that. And there are definitely parts of that lesson parts of that song that I could do a lot of describing of. I could go into some detail and explain what's going on. So, speaking of Sacrifice, there we go. I'm going to sacrifice some of my sweat and play the song. All right, let's go. That stick recovery was so good. That's enough of that. There we go. Sacrifice by Tesseract, including mistakes. Dropped the stick, forgot some of the fills. In fairness, I haven't played that in more than a month, so there we go. That's about as good as I can play it after a month. It's funny how much of the song stays with you, but there's quite a bit of it that also vanishes unless you're playing it every night. So there we go. What we're saying, Miguel, something to show that you made a long time ago. Fan-made video lyric of Sirens. I think I might have seen, there was a fan-made lyric video of Sirens that someone sent me. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. This has been great. I think I hit all of the points that I was trying to hit. That I made a list. I've got a bullet point list on my phone. I came prepared to this one. And like I say, if you want to improve your drumming, if you're interested in the drums, look at this. Boom. If you're interested in playing drums, come and hang out on my website, jpostones.com. We got loads of students on there. There's a community of people on the Discord. It's absolutely stunning. The performances you've seen today were from some of these people, and it's just a wholesome place to be. And if you use the code ready to learn on a silver membership, then you can get yourself a free month. And those spaces are running out. It's for the first 100 people to sign up. And we've had some people that signed up without using the code, which is mad. Might as well get a free month out of it. But then other people come along and use the code. So there's a few spots left if you want to join that. Ready, READY, the number 2, learn on a silver membership, and it'll just unlock it free for a month, so you can check out absolutely everything. The lessons that I post every week. There's a new lesson going up every single week. You get access to all of those. Bunch of Tesseract lessons. Loads of cool stuff. And just thank you to everyone for hanging out in this stream. It's been absolutely delightful. If you got any, is there any questions actually before I go? I didn't see any questions enter the Discord because I didn't really promote it very well. But if you guys have any questions in chat, then I can do my best to answer them. If you're interested, I'll just sit here like a plum until someone says something. What if I just sit in silence? I don't know if I can do that. That's too difficult. Let's see what the delay is between someone typing a question and me talking about people typing a question. I reckon we're up to about 3 years so far. It feels like 3 years. No one said anything. Stream elements, join the Legion. That's not useful, is it? In fact, actually, if you guys do want to do that, Tesseract have got a mailing list because called Legion. Join the Legion. You get a weekly newsletter from us. And we write it. Literally, we write it. And we're just trying to show you guys behind the scenes stuff and cool stuff. So there's going to be some really cool footage from the Resurrection Fest that we did in Spain the other week, in the one that goes out this coming week. Danny, any chances you work on new album on stream? Potentially. Dan was talking about wanting to do that the other day. I think the rest of the guys are a little bit like, oh, maybe we hold it back. But I think it helps Dan to write this stuff on stream, and he did quite a bit of War of Being on stream, and it's it's a fairly niche community that tune into these things, so I don't think it gives away too much by doing it on stream. So potentially I might learn some of the drum stuff on stream. I think I'll have to play it by ear. Like, I don't know that I want my learning sessions to be broadcast, because I just need to focus in those, and if I've got a whole chat going on and people asking me questions, I won't actually focus on the thing I'm trying to do. So I might hold off on drumming new Tesseract stuff until it's actually out, but we'll see. Are we going to do another album like another one? Like one? Probably not. Albums are just a moment in time, so I would say we'll do an album like an evolution of everything that we've done before with new ideas. It's probably a best way of describing it. What else have we got? I think that's it. Simple exercises for better independence. Oh man, I mean, anything you can't do. That's such a cop-out, but people are like, how do I improve independence? You practice something that you can't currently do. There's not one thing that unlocks it, right? And everyone will give different answers, and there isn't one answer. It's just, this would be cool to do. If you can't currently play it, then it's a cool thing to exercise. There's one exercise that I like that separates everything, but it's only really useful for one thing. So it's just like a show-off thing, but it's like crossing over. So right, left, left, right. So you end up doing like. That kind of thing. It's just single strokes, but you're crossing over your hands and feet. Really good for independence, but again, only if you can use it. I use it for a couple of fills. There's a fill at the end of Juno. Where I use that pattern. I don't use it anywhere else though. Not yet. There's a couple of things that I might write for the next round of things in the studio that might include something like that, but really effortless way to play really fast and gain independence, especially over your non-dominant leg. That'd be really, really... that's a good exercise for that, but it's just one thing, man. My advice would be go and find an educator that you resonate with and practice exercises from that person that you currently find challenging, because that is the real way that you're going to level up that thing, not just by choosing one exercise and like practicing that forever, because it might not end up being that useful. What else are we saying? Exotype Typica, how do I say your name? I love the instrumental versions of the last album so much. Is there a way you could show us how you configure the drum mix in SD3 step by step? Not easily. So the last record wasn't Superior Drummer. The last album was in a studio. We were in a studio recording. It's not programmed drums. So how I configure Superior Drummer is I open up Superior Drummer and I choose the Modern Metal EZX and I choose the Dense and Deep kit, and then I add a different snare and stack. And then the only thing I'm doing then is the velocity curves for my particular playing style. Other than that, it's a sound out of the box. So tune track Modern Metal EZX, Dense and Deep, and then just choose the snare that you like and the stack that you like the sound of, and then I'll build the kit around that. It's the easiest out of the box thing. The only thing that I find, there's like occasional miss triggers, and I don't know if it's the module or if it's the software, some kind of communication thing. I'll hit the snare sometimes and it just won't hit. I'll hit a cymbal sometimes and it won't trigger. I'll hit the kick sometimes, it just won't trigger. So yeah, it's that's the only thing. It's one in every like 100 hits or something. I mean, that's vague, but it happens often enough to be annoying, but it does sound amazing. It really does sound amazing. Rain, there's a couple of old demos before that could be cool songs. There's a load of old demos. Whenever we suggest old demos, really it's got to resonate for Ackle, and I think he's a bit tired of old demos and he wants to write new stuff. And to be honest, the new stuff does sound better. He writes something new and you're like, oh shit, yeah, I'll see why you would write new stuff. Bradley Clay, maybe you mentioned earlier, any vlogs from that tour that just wrapped? No, So I was planning on doing vlogs, but we were just too tired. We were tour managing ourselves. We were setting and prepping up everything ourselves, packing it all down. Me and Amos especially had really long days. I just didn't have the bandwidth to be filming at the same time, unfortunately. So there's not really much from that tour. That tour was difficult, I'm not going to lie. It was great. It was really good tour, but it was a lot of work, a lot more than anyone who's not in a band would probably realise. And just some stupid shit happened. You know, we got stuck in an elevator for 75 minutes in this old 100-year-old elevator in Detroit. 14 people in an old ass elevator and it had capacity for 14. So we're just like this, sweating our asses off for 70 odd minutes until the fire department cut us out of there right before we go on stage. That was very, very difficult. Yeah, man, that was tour was incredible. It was incredible, but it was also just a lot of work. I'm so grateful to be home for July. I love doing this. I love going on tour. I love playing shows, but I really love being at home because I get to sleep on my schedule and I get to work on my schedule and I get to eat food that I actually want to eat. So it's crazy. It is crazy. The priorities shift as you get older, and now I'm just optimizing for comfort and sleep. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. This has been so much fun, and I'm going to host another one of these later in the year. I might, every now and then, I think about doing more regular live streams, just drumming live streams and doing Q&As and that kind of thing. Other things end up becoming more of a priority, though, so I'm not going to promise right now that there's going to be one of these next week or in a month or whatever, but if I can summon the energy and we've got a purpose, then I'll jump on here and do one of these, because I do find them a lot of fun and it's really nice chatting with you guys. jpostones.com for all your drumming needs, and I'll see you next time.